Alright, friends, now we are starting with the solution for number 10. When two partners are insolvent, and partners are Shweta, Nupur and Sanika. The profit sharing ratio is a 3:2:1. This is the ruling required. So even though two partners are insolvent, the procedure, accounting procedure is a one and same. Okay. Matlab you need to prepare realization account, partners capital account and bank account over here. Look at the balance sheet. Step number 1, transfer the assets. There is only one asset so far, sundry assets. Two sundry assets. Okay. Amount of sundry assets is a 1,60,000. This is only one single item, so directly outer column. Cash or bank, you write as a 2 balance brought down. In the previous problem, there was an overdraft. There was an overdraft. So the question number 9 में overdraft था, इसलिए हमने क्या लिखा था? Buy balance brought down. But here it is a balance, 2 balance brought down. Sanika's capital, as it is given in the balance sheet assets, it is to be recorded as a 2 balance brought down. Capital account में लिखना है 2 balance brought down. Sanika 2 balance brought down like this. Sanika 2 balance, but ka because it is standing in the balance sheet asset. Capital account of Shweta and Nupur write as a buy balance brought down. Buy balance brought down. Shweta 65,000 and Nupur is a 15,000. No Sanika. Creditors are to be recorded to realization account credit side by sundry liabilities. Below that you write creditors, only one item again, outer column 95,000. Okay. Now the next step. Look at the information please. The firm dissolved on 31st March 2019 and sundry asset realized 60% of the book value. So actually our sundry assets are 1,60,000. उसका हमको 60% मिल गया. Okay. Now what is 60% of the same? 60% मतलब कितना आने वाला है? 96,000. Okay. So from sundry assets we are getting 96,000. The statement can be given in this way also, that sundry asset realized 60% or sundry asset realized 40% less. 40% less मतलब 60% मिलेगा ना आपको. और क्या दिया है? Realization expenses rupees 2,000 paid by Shweta. Underline the wording paid by Shweta. This is not paid by firm, it is paid by Shweta. तो इसको बाद में देखते हैं. सबसे पहले ये एंट्री लेते हैं. For the sale of the asset, realization of the asset, entry is bank account debit to realization. Bank account debit to realization by bank. Here it is coming to realization. To realization. Then thereafter, realization expenses are 2,000 paid by Shweta. Listen to me carefully, please. When any liability is taken over, paid by partner, or any realization expenses paid by partner, उसका एंट्री आने वाला है realization account debit to partners capital, to Shweta's capital. To Shweta's capital. In the bracket you write realization expenses. Rupees 2,000. To Shweta's capital. Here it is by realization. In the column of Shweta only. Normally, whenever we are doing the payment of realization expenses, journal entry is realization to bank. But here it is not to bank, it is to Shweta's capital. Why? Because that is paid by Shweta. Next. नुपूर सानिका बोथ आर इंसॉल्वेंट. दोघींनी बल्ले बल्ले करून दाखवलं, म्हणजे दोनों ने बोला की इंसॉल्वेंट हो गए, कुछ नहीं हमारे पास. फिर भी नुपूर प्राइवेट एस्टेट, व्हाट इज द अमाउंट, got a surplus of 3,000 and Sanika 8,000. Now underline this wording and write there recovery. But these are amounts which are recovered from partners. तो recovery का entry तो आएगा, which I am writing in red color. Bank account debit to Nupur's capital, Sanika's capital. From Nupur we are getting 3,000. By bank, in the column of Nupur 3,000, Sanika 8,000. Okay, Nupur 3,000, Sanika 8,000. By bank, here you write to Nupur's capital. Nupur's capital 3,000 to Sanika's capital 8,000. Okay, so this is the entry for recovery. यहाँ पे recovery आपको direct amount में दिया है. When the recovery is given in amounts, you should write directly. Percentage में दिया तो फिर question number 9 में जैसे किया था वैसे आपको करना. Okay. Now what is next given to you? Sampla. इसे problem sampla. Problem is now finished. Now we are going to calculate profit or loss. There is a loss. 1,62,000 minus this. Okay. जरा प्रॉब्लेम मध्ये बघा काही राहिले का, आपल्याकडून काही राहिले का. एनिथिंग इज लेफ्ट फ्रॉम आवर साइड. येस, एक अख्खी गोष्ट राहिली. And that's why I want to repeat that we are supposed to pay creditors. Okay, creditors का पेमेंट करना हम लोग भूल गए, उसका पेमेंट करना चाहिए. You need to make the payment of creditors. It is not mentioned in the problem whether creditors are paid or not, but we have to pay that liability. Creditors are paid 95,000. जितना है उतना पूरा पेमेंट करो. The problem is silent about this, but we must make the payment of creditors. The problem is silent about the payment of creditors, but we must pay creditors, and the full payment is done to creditors 95,000. Okay. Now close it down. आता total करा. The total is 2,57,000. This is a loss to be transferred to partners capital account in the ratio 3:2:1. Shweta, then Nupur and Sanika. So 66,000 divided by 6, you are getting 11,000. Multiplied by 3, 2 and 1. So Shweta, it is 33,000. Nupur, it is 22,000, and Sanika, it is 11,000. So by capital to realization, 33,000, 22,000 and 11,000. Okay. And now the working note is very, very important. So I am requesting you to watch it carefully and you can write with me now. मेरे साथ ही लिखो आप. Working note. Capital deficiency of Nupur and Sanika. असल आमलाम लिया. Capital deficiency of Nupur and Sanika. मतलब यहाँ पे मैं नुपुर का लिखने वाला हूँ, यहाँ पे सानिका का लिखने वाला हूँ. टोटल डेबिट माइनस टोटल क्रेडिट. द डेबिट टोटल फॉर नुपुर इज 22,000. Okay, and Sanika is 11,000. Sorry, 21,000. So 22,000 for Nupur and 21,000 for Sanika. Debit total minus credit total. For Nupur, credit total is 18,000. And for Sanika, credit में 8,000 है. Now you are getting the deficiency. 4,000 for Nupur and 13,000 for Sanika. The capital deficiency coming in this way, इस तरह से आता है. It is 4,000 for Nupur and 13,000 for Sanika. Now both the deficiencies, मतलब इसका और इसका deficiency, आपको कहा किसको ट्रांसफर करना है? It is to be transferred श्वेता. श्वेता ने ट्रांसफर करे छे. We are going to transfer the same to Shweta. Okay. Now what is the entry for this? Entry कैसे आएगा देखो. Shweta's capital account debit total 17,000. 13 4 plus 13 to Nupur's capital 4,000 and to Sanika's capital 13,000. Okay. So this is the entry. अब इसका पोस्टिंग कैसे आएगा देखो. By Shweta's capital in the column of Nupur 4,000 and Sanika 1,000. मतलब पोस्टिंग कैसे आने वाला है? By Shweta's capital amount in the column of Nupur and Sanika. Nupur में आएगा 4,000, Sanika के लिए 13,000. And here to Nupur's capital amount in the column of Shweta 4,000. Then to Sanika's capital amount in the column of Shweta 13,000. So remember, when two partners are insolvent, the remaining partner is supposed to undertake all losses. This is called as an unlimited liability principle. पार्टनरशिप जितना अच्छा दिखता है उतना प्रैक्टिकल और रियल लाइफ में अच्छा होता नहीं है. इसलिए हमारे जो पेरेंट्स होते हैं, बुजुर्ग होते हैं, वो बोलते हैं कि भाई बिजनेस करना है अकेला करो. ओके, किसी के साथ मत करो, क्योंकि बाद में अगर हो जाएगा तो इस तरह से जैसे अभी श्वेता को झेलना पड़ रहा है. सब ओके. Now close down capital accounts 67. इसका तो क्लोज ही हो जाएगा. 22, 21, 67,000, 22,000 and 21,000. Nupur and Sanika closed. Only Shweta remaining. Shweta को जितना भी balance है अभी देना पड़ेगा. You need to make the payment to Shweta finally. जितना भी balance रहेगा. $17,000. Okay. Two banks, 17,000. Two banks, 17,000. Here it is by Shweta's capital. By Shweta's capital. And now close it down. अभी आपका बैंक अकाउंट क्लोज होने वाला है. So your bank account is getting closed by 1,12,000. Now you are all requested to solve two problems from the given notes. मी तुम्हाला notes share केलेले आहेत. The notes are given to you on the group. Okay. From these notes or assignment में देखो assignment है वो पूरा. So you can see the notes. Page number is 80 and the question number is 8 and 9. 8 and 9. Okay. मतलब similar questions है. You can actually solve that. It is a one partner insolvent problem. You can solve. So let us meet tomorrow. उद्या भेटूया 4 वाजता.